Hey, it's been a while since I've done one of these. I've been on vacation for 3 weeks, so I'm just getting back in the swing of things. So only two runs this time. First run is from CN a month ago. This is the Warden's run. So the reason why I want to cover this one is because it's a 9S run for 520D, but for NA at 502D, this can actually be used for S0, but it's actually really, really hard to do. I wasn't able to get this, so a little bit too difficult. But two other players in NA actually managed to, so props to them for their hard work. I think there's something in this run that a lot of LE players can learn from, and it's useful for this fight and the Hephaestus fight as well, because those runs are kind of gated by the boss transition. So you can't, at least until the first boss transition, you can't go any faster than that because it's like a fixed time. So learning how to do as much damage as you can with LE up until that point will make it easier to finish up the boss at the end. So there's a new rotation here that I think is new for a lot of players that you might find useful. Whoops, hold on a sec. There we go. So all runs do the same opener, trying to get Sushang ultimate at 984. Yeah, I'll actually explain the differences between this and the 9S run at RD and 502. It's actually very, very similar. So the burst sequence here is N2 first, before the first weapon attack. So that gives you a bit more damage from the basics. And then N4, and then the weapon. The charge attack, and then the weapon, and then the finisher. And you can barely fit Kira's charge attack in time. I think if you're actually too far away, the charge attack might miss. So there's a little bit of RNG there because the timing's very tight. I had to pause there because the video is going too fast, so I can't cover everything. After the Kira charge attack, that attack also has to hit both entities, by the way. Otherwise, you will not be able to deplete the HP coagulation bar. So you kind of have to line up both enemies and shoot both of them. And then if you're close enough, then Shusheng's QTE and her weapon will be able to hit both targets. And that's actually important because it'll affect how much SP she gets. So you'll see here, while she's waiting for Kira's switch cooldown to reset, she'll do one normal B before she does her hold A. So she should have, I'm probably blocking it with the UI. There we go. 29, it should be about 30 SP before she swaps out. And if you have less than that, then you won't be able to cast her last ult with 175 SP, and that will actually affect damage quite a lot. So it's pretty important to get the transition right so that she gets as much SP as possible. And oh yeah, I should mention they show the stats at the end, but so you'll see later. But I know that Shushang has 3.2% SP reduction, so you need at least that. If you have more, then the first rotation will suffer a little bit because Ellie will have less stacks, but it'll be easier to get more SP at the end. So the main difference between this run and the 9S runs at our current D is that it will cast Sushang's next ultimate right off cooldown, whereas this run it does extra charge attacks with Illy just for a bit more damage. Yeah, so that one extra charge attack is about 4 points. So the 9S runs at RD should be +4 ahead right now. So for example, Kira's ult is at 822, 9S runs at RD would be at 826 around there. And then here again, you'll see a normal 1. I'm sorry, normal 2 before weapon. And then let me pause real quick. So here you can see the ult just refreshed, right? And you can use the ult finisher here. So this ult will actually kill for 9S at 502D. So it would, because they're 4 points ahead right now because they do one less charge attack earlier on, it will actually kill at 800. So That's why there's a couple runs 800, and there's also I think Akiyuki got 801. So that's around the scoring for 9S teams at RD. So for S0 teams, how much more time does it take? So if I keep playing, you'll see. So same burst sequence, it was N2 weapon, and then N4 combo charge attack, and then weapon, and then finisher. Then it does charge attack, and then 2 arrow shots. So it dies here, 769. Note that if you do not kill it at this point, you might be able to squeeze in JKQTE for a bit more damage, but you can't do much more than that. Like the cutoff will be right here, and the balls enter coagulation again. So it's really, really, really tight. So yeah, that Ellie burst sequence is, as far as I know right now, is the highest damage that she can do in one rotation. She will actually get the after the finisher, she can also do one weapon attack within Su Shang's breach. So it's N2 weapon, N4 charge attack, weapon finisher, and then 1 arrow shot. So like I mentioned at the very beginning, you can use that for this boss. You can also use it for Hef, because Hef, basically after you freeze him the first time and then he he defrosts is when he will reach maximum overheat. So you can also use this burst sequence to get a bit more damage. Although I think Hef had one weird case where if you finish your sequence earlier and QTE Su Shang in, she can pre-farm her SP before Hef goes invulnerable. So you might not be able to actually use this burst sequence as it takes too long, because I think some runs you want Su Shang to get in earlier so you can pre-farm the SP. So there's that trade-off. And then I don't think any other Ellie boss has that like hard time gate based on when the boss transitions. So if you do this new burst sequence with the N2 first, it will do more damage, but it will take more time. It's just that these particular bosses, the extra time cost doesn't matter because you're waiting for the boss anyway. Okay, and then the other run is from Shameless End. Some of you probably have heard of him already. This run is pretty interesting because if you've ever tried the 9S HR run on this boss, the 39880 is actually pretty difficult to get. So this might be an easier alternative for you. If you can't use the HS run, because HS run scores higher. I think that's the cap score now. And then also if you can't use the Dream Reaver one, because that one requires 3S Dream Reaver. But yeah, all three of these runs, the Dream Reaver one and the HS one, and also this one, all require Seilun's Elegy though. So that's the downside, because I think a lot of newer players won't have it. This is actually my first time watching this run, so I have no idea how it works. So let's find out. That's actually crazy. Kills without seal alt. Yeah, the main thing I was wondering was, for runs that use seal alt at the beginning, she has a really hard time refreshing it before transition ends because it's so long. You'll see in the HS run, the new cap run, that she refreshes it with 1 second remaining on the timer. But now this answers what I was wondering, because she actually doesn't ult in phase 1. Very interesting. Yeah, Seal stalls the fight so long that it gives Seilun enough time to apply freeze, because she doesn't apply freeze right when you use the elf. She has quite a long delay before she actually applies it. Yeah. So it was enough for the boss to be frozen before Prometheus ult hit, Yeah, and then the rest of it is probably familiar for anyone who's used this team. The team rotates similarly for when you fight Aponia and other Memory Arena bosses. That definitely looks like it's a lot easier than the 9S HR run, for sure. But the transition timing does look really, really, really particular. Like you have to pay a lot of attention to get it right. This part specifically. Oh, whoops, sorry. Oh, let's go back a bit. Yeah, here. So you cast her ult before transition finishes. And then you actually do a time fracture with TA as well before swapping to Griseo. Yeah, that part actually looks quite hard. And really, really, really careful timing probably is needed there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then the only other thing I was wondering was at the end, I wonder what actually killed. Right? Like it just dies. And I'm wondering, let's see. Is it here? Wait, here. Oh, even further back. Okay, so ult. So her ult explodes after 8 seconds. I'm just taking a look. So we're looking at maybe like 41-ish on the timer. On the top right timer. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but it might be. I was thinking it's Griseo's ult blowing up. Oh, actually, no, it's not 8 seconds. I think it's 8 seconds from when it expires, and the ult lasts 20 seconds. So it actually be 12 seconds. So explodes here. So 12 seconds would be 42 minus 12 is 30. Did she cast her ult at 30? 30. Okay, yeah, okay. She did. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it's Griseo's ult exploding that kills. Pretty crazy, right? All right. I could be wrong, but I think that's what's killing the boss. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all I had. So until next time.